Thanks very much, Rajesh Raj, joining us with inputs about the Rajya Sabha. Moving on to our next story, then the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will be chairing the 36th meeting of the GST Council through video conference in New Delhi today. Among other issues, the GST Council is expected to announce its decision on lowering tax rates for electric vehicles, solar power projects, and rationalisation of GST rates on lottery. This will be the first GST Council meeting after the Union Budget was placed before the Parliament on July 5. The last meeting of the GST Council was held on June 21, where the last date for filing of GST returns for the financial year 17-18 was extended by 2 months to August of 19. And the GST Council meeting is on today. And for more on that, we are joined. And for more on this, we are joined by our correspondent Arun Sharma, who's joining us with inputs on the GST Council meeting. Arun, are you with us?
Yes, Mark, good afternoon to you. I am very much with you.
Right, Arun. So the important thing really about the GST Council is that, since this path-breaking reform has taken place, it's taken time for the GST revenues to increase to a satisfactory level. In fact, it's still not at a satisfactory level at about 1 lakh crore every month. So it really needs to, that's one of the areas that they probably will need to be thinking about before really focusing on these key issues of specifics like electric vehicles and all that.
That's right, Mark. Now, the GST Council is primarily also focusing on the areas as to how to increase the revenues as far as the GST is concerned, because the GST Council is targeting to garner close to 1 lakh crore every month as far as the GST returns are concerned. That means 12 lakh crore annually. But this time around, I mean, every GST Council meeting has a specific agenda. And this time around, during this GST Council meeting, which is taking place today under the chairmanship of Nirmala Sitharaman, the Finance Minister, the focus will be clearly on electric vehicles. We have seen this fact that Nirmala Sitharaman, the Finance Minister, has given a way forward as far as boosting the electric vehicle segment in our country. In budget, various announcements were made. The prominent announcement was of giving a rebate of close to 1.5 lakh, additional 1.5 lakh as far as on purchasing of electric vehicles are concerned. So if you take a loan for electric vehicle, you get a rebate of 1.5 lakh as well. So now the focus is as to how can demand be created, because we know this fact, Mark, that as of now in our country, there are close to 5 lakh electric vehicles. The government is now planning to increase its electric vehicle segment by 2020 up to 70 lakh vehicles in our country. And by 2030, what government is looking for, that out of the total vehicles in our country, 30% of the vehicles should be electric vehicles. So in that context, there is need to create demand. And therefore, as of now, we know this fact that on petrol and diesel cars, the GST is 28%. And on electric vehicles, the GST is 12%. So now what government is planning to slash this GST on electric vehicles to 5%. So that means if in case any electric vehicle, for example, if it costs 10 lakh rupees, so you have to pay a GST of 1.20 lakh as far as the GST is concerned. So now after, if in case this GST rates get slashed to 5%, you'll only have to pay a GST of 50,000 rupees. So this will give a major, a sigh of relief primarily to those buyers who are looking for purchase of the electric vehicle going forward. So
Right.
idea is to create an ecosystem so that the electric vehicles can get a major push as far as the purchasing part is concerned.
Certainly, Arun, this is a key area of focus, especially to create demand. This is from the incentive point of view as far as taxation is concerned. But, a buyer of an electric vehicle will be concerned about various other aspects as well. How to charge the vehicle. There are not too many charging points available. Infrastructure has to be built up. Whether there's parking facilities that are easily available. All these other issues are also, have to be dealt with simultaneously, apart from, the boost that is given, the initial push that is given with a tax incentive.
That's right, Mahula. GST Council is concerned. The GST Council will only take up the decision as to how can demand be created and what kind of taxation structure can be imposed as far as the electric vehicle segment is concerned. But on the side, on the other side, when we talk about the executive part or the government part, government is making sure that the electric vehicle ecosystem get a major push. Now, the Niti Aayog report clearly says that the kind of initiative the government is taking, by that point, the government will be in a position to control 35% 25% of carbon footprint by introducing more and more electric vehicles going forward. In budget, we have seen that the government has given a major incentive to those people who will be, if in case who buys electric vehicles, they can get an incentive or rebate of 1.5 lakh rupees additional to ATC if they take a loan. So these are the small steps. Now, somebody really raised question that when there are no electric cars, how can charging stations be built? So there can be another question: if there are no charging stations, how can electric car be purchased? So it's a vice versa question. So infrastructure has to be built in order to go forward. And we have recently seen that many car manufacturing company in our country, like Hyundai, like Mahindra and Mahindra, these companies are going forward in bringing in new technologies, in bringing more and more new models as far as electric vehicles are concerned, because they have accepted this fact that government is creating a clear ecosystem whereby the electric vehicles will be getting a major push as far as the electric vehicles are concerned.
Yes, you did use the word ecosystem, and that's very important. You did also describe a chicken and egg kind of situation. But one of the important things that will be on consumers' mind, a buyer's mind, would not only be, okay, I'm getting this tax incentive, but how do these vehicles actually perform on Indian roads, which are overcrowded, which are full of traffic? These are also questions that perhaps a person would have in mind. Would you, for instance, like to buy an electric vehicle?
Why not, Mark? The only thing a consumer has in its mind that the cost of the electric vehicle. Now, if in case a vehicle which runs on a petrol, a 1 liter of petrol, primarily 70 rupees of petrol, gives you an average of 15 kilometers. On the other side, a 20 paisa of your cost and runs for 1 kilometer, which is economic for you. So, of course, the electric vehicle, the CNG vehicles are cost efficient, cost effective vehicles that we have seen. Now, second important part, we should also look at a macro levels. But India, as we know this fact that India is going forward and taking a leadership role as far as controlling the climate change. And we are also going with the fact that by 2030, the government is planning to have its fleet, the complete electric, the vehicles in our country should be completely, electric vehicles as far as 30% of its passenger vehicle segment is concerned. So yes, as of now, electric vehicles are not cost efficient and cost effective. They're costly as of now. If you compare an SUV which runs on petrol and diesel, which is close to 15 lakh rupees, and if you compare the same SUV to electric vehicles, which cost you 25 lakh rupees. So yes, gradually going forward, the cost of the electric vehicles will come down because infrastructure will be created, proper ecosystem will be created, and that's the need of the hour. And in that direction, the government is making all its efforts in order to provide a better infrastructure, and of course giving a proper tax treatment to these electric vehicles so that demand gets increased as far as this segment is concerned.
Thanks very much, Arun Sharma, bringing us the focus of that GST Council meeting, electric vehicles, and he did give us some very